I am Koketso Penny Makua, yes, the one and only pageant boss babe. I am so excited about the episode that we are hosting today. As you all know, that we are continuing with the Boss Babe series, but today is extra special because I don't only have a pageant queen, but I've got a pageant king, and they are a duo. Yes, they are twins. I'm going to let them in the room and we are just going to converse and talk about their life story and their pageant journey, of course. It's always so strange to see a man involved in pageantry because we always think that pageantry is exclusive to females. So I had to lock them in and ensure that they tell the story, and hopefully you will also take the bite, hook, line and sinker and start partaking into pageantry even if you are a man. The Mahlangu twins. Welcome.
Thank you. That was a very lovely introduction. For a moment there, I thought like we're in a presidential.
Yeah,
it was lovely. It was very lovely. Thank you so much for that.
I'm so excited. I think it's quite befitting, you know. And I mean, I met you guys, what, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And I was so intrigued, you know. I never would have guessed you guys are twins.
We always get that.
Yeah.
Always. In fact, people think we are dating.
Imagine that.
All the time they think we
Yeah.
are dating, but they're like, no man, they cannot be dating. They
Yeah.
should be siblings. One, in fact, he's always older than me,
Yeah.
and then I'm the younger one. Until we're like, okay, we're twins. We actually
Yeah.
are dating, and he's not older than me.
Yeah.
We're twins.
Because I'm also looking for a similarity.
There isn't.
but you know, I think if you spend enough time with us, you know, and you observe more closely, then you'll see some
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Maybe personality-wise, there are certain aspects maybe we have a lot of commonalities in. You know, especially with regards to our careers, we always navigate towards one another, one way or another. Which is
Yeah.
like,
The same thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Almost, you know, when it comes to sports, fitness and training,
Yeah.
modeling, community outreachments, we always find one thing to connect with each other. So I think maybe that's one of the things that makes us, you know,
Yeah.
look like twins.
So you guys are friends?
We
Best
are
friends.
Ah.
She is actually my best friend.
Wow.
I'm
Wow.
proud to say that.
Wow. I love that. I love that. But we're going to start off with an icebreaker, right? And what I'm going to do, I know you probably had it in the brief, right? However, I'm not going to use the one on the brief.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you a question, right?
Okay.
And you guys must, you know, point to say either it's him or it's her.
Okay.
Right? Without looking at each other and spontaneously. Right?
Okay.
So, who is the bossy one?
Him.
Is it him?
He's bossy.
He says it's you.
He's bossy.
All right. Who is the spendthrift? Well, it's expected, right?
Me.
And who is the talker?
You know, okay. Yeah.
I didn't expect that.
Yeah,
I
it's,
thought it should be
Yeah.
50 or 40, 50.
Yeah. You know, I think I have my time, and
Yeah.
she has her time.
Yeah. I love that, but welcome
Thank you.
to my channel. I want you guys to officially introduce yourselves. Who are you? If maybe we can start with you, and then, you know, you can also maybe just jump in. Tell us your story. Where do you come from? Well, how old are you? Who are you? We want to get to know the Mahlangu twins. By the way, their names are Mohau. And is it Mohau or is it Mohau?
It's Mahal.
With an H.
Age. Yes.
With an H. Mohau and Tiamo.
Yes.
Yes.
So we're basically from a small township next to Brock Spring. It's from Far East Pretoria. So that's where we grew up initially, and then we went to a private school our whole lives. We went to private schools, and then I think we were different because we grew up in our house. You know, we never really played with a lot of kids, and we read a lot of books, as I say. So I think it's what shaped us to become who we are today. Because my grandfather was a big reader. You know, I call him a philosopher. You know, I think he's one of the greatest philosophers I've ever met in my life. So we had even now we have a huge library. So we would read books. He would buy L magazines. You know, we'd watch fashion TV and all that. So growing up, we actually into a lot of fashion. And then when I got into high school, I was introduced to rugby, since it was an African school, you understand. So yeah, I think that's who I am. That's who I am. And I think what made me who I am, even like more for me, it's my cancer journey. You know, when I was diagnosed with cancer, I actually mixed my fashion career with health, you know, to can inspire the youth, you know, to can rise above all forms of challenges. Because, you know, if I went through what I went through, you know, and can still become a model, you know, becoming a model, it's not easy on its own. So, yeah, I think that's my story, you know, to become a beacon of hope to kids. Yes.
Wow. What, you know, a touching story. I actually didn't even know about your cancer journey.
Yes.
And maybe it's something that we can discuss
Yes.
at, you know, a later stage in the interview, if you are okay with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think he forgot to mention that he's Mahau and I'm Tiamo, but we've got other names. We've got four names each.
Four names. So you're one of those where they like stick to only 2 names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at home they utilize all of our names.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I'm Batile, he's Melisizwe. I'm Bandengai, he's Bahleliwe. I'm Nombuso, he's Hlumela. You know, they utilize all of those names.
So these are the only Tswana or Sesotho names?
Yeah, Tiamo and Mahau is the only Tswana names we have on our IDs.
Wow.
The 3 other names is Zulu. So like you mentioned before, we grew up in a very, I call it a glorified village, you know.
Is it Enkangala?
Enkangala,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
It's the far east, south part of it. You know, we grew up there most of our lives. And then we went to Jabulani Private School, and then moved on to Rekombinyarda, Water School in Kalinin. And then I think my life started to shape up when I went to that school, you know.
The second
school, secondary. And solely because of our principal, I think it's the life skills that he taught us, that when you are individual, you cannot just coexist and just become an ID number. There must be something that you need to participate in. Because I remember when we went to that school, in grade 8, he urged everyone to participate in something, do sports, do activities, just be active in whatever that you do, that by the end of the year you can count that you did 1, 2, 3, you know. So that has kind of propelled me to, in everything that I do, I put in work. In literally everything that I do, I make sure that at least I get out, there's something that must come out of that. You know, I got into sports, I played athletics, I did hockey, I did public speaking, you know. They tried to do pageants at school. I remember there was a pageant that they said, Yefro Langbiana, it means Miss Long Legs. Yeah. You know? And then because I was a tomboy.
Yeah.
So I was never interested. So this other time I wore a skirt. And then they were like, you've got nice legs. And I had no idea. Why don't you enter? Because we only knew white kids to have nice legs.
Yeah.
But as for us black kids,
yeah,
it was very rare for a person to say, you've got nice legs. Why don't you enter this competition?
Yeah.
Okay, my friend signed up my name. And then I think it ran for a week. And then thereafter they just discontinued. I don't know why. But initially I was like, oh, okay, maybe I can enter some sort of a competition that will enhance my body or celebrate my body, how I look and so forth.
Because have you also found that when you're young and tall, as a girl, it actually, you feel disadvantaged.
I do.
Because I went through that.
I
when was
hated
younger.
being tall.
Yeah.
I'd
actually walk like to try and shorten myself.
I promise
Yeah.
you. From primary, I was always the tallest. I was
Yeah.
always the skinniest out of
Yeah.
all my friends. I hated being tall, and going to that school also enhanced and made me realize that actually being tall is not so bad, because
Yeah.
white girls are tall.
Celebrating.
They celebrated
Your
my
uniqueness.
beauty.
Yeah.
Hence, that's why they said, enter for young Vienna.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, meaning I've got nice features
Yeah.
that I did not have an
Yeah.
idea that I had.
Yeah.
You know? I remember even becoming somebody in that school, when you had to become an RCL, you had to be academically equipped, you had to be
Sports,
active,
yeah.
You have to prove yourself.
you had to prove
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
Because I remember they would even give you a contract
Mm.
that go to every teacher, they must write something about you, that what
Yeah.
are you doing and so forth. It was a journey.
It's not just a matter of they vote you in and whether you are a bully or, because I actually had this problem with, a boarding school, my son, we just took him out of it, but there was an incident of bullying. And one of the learners, was a prefect, I don't know, RCL, you guys know
Yes.
him. And I was shocked, and I, asked the principal, how is that possible? How can someone that's supposed to uphold the principles of the school,
True.
intimidating a learner that's, 3 years younger than him, and he gets rewarded?
Power
with-
dynamics. Yeah.
Do you understand? Or is that the principle of the school to be, bullies, So I love that you mentioned that, and I can see that your principal had a significant influence,
He did.
Yeah.
upon your lives, because also you guys are very different. I don't know if you do know that. Do you get that a lot?
Here's the thing. We get that a lot, but I
Yeah.
never really understand the gist of it. Like, what do you mean? Like, in what sense? Is it good? Is it is it in a pompous way? Are we like it always?
Trust me, it's
baffles
always a
me.
good thing. It's always a good thing. And the only time it will be made to seem bad is if, someone else feels like their light is being compressed. Oh, sorry, I just saw a lizard. And it's disappeared. Oh, sorry. I felt like against my. I hate reptiles.
Likewise.
All right.
Likewise.
And it's never a bad thing, right? The only time someone will actually mention that or make you feel like it's a bad thing, it's because, the demons within themselves are starting to pop up. So they feel like their own light is being, it's being dimmed. So there's nothing wrong with that. You stand out, and in a good way. There is something different about you guys, and that is why, I would never interview someone that's about to, partake in a pre-competition. You understand that I'm running, because, it comes with a lot of backlash.
Yes,
It does,
true.
but I couldn't let this go.
True, thank you so
Yes,
much.
there's something, and I want to know what that thing is. So with that being said, you mentioned, Mahal, something very interesting about your grandfather.
Yes.
That basically what I summed up, he was a fashionista.
More of a philosopher,
Yeah,
He's the most open-minded man I've ever met in my life.
yeah,
If you're sick, for example, we come to him and say, grandfather, I'm feeling like this. He would explain your condition better than a doctor.
yeah,
He was a guy, when you talk about politics, he understands politics. When you talk about fashion, he understands fashion.
Yeah.
So as I said, he was a big reader. So he was an amazing man, and I think he had a huge impact in our lives, and
yeah,
I think he shaped who we are
Yeah.
right now.
yeah. Is it just the two of you, or do you have other siblings?
We have a younger sibling, but she is 17 years younger than
Oh,
us. So
okay.
she never really got to know our grandfather as much as we did.
Yeah.
Because he passed on, I think he passed on 2 years back, if not 3 years back.
I think it's 3 years back.
Yeah, 3 years
Yeah,
back.
I'm so sorry to hear
No,
that.
it's okay.
Yeah,
It's okay.
yeah,
But yeah, as he mentioned, my grandfather was a very exposed man. And I mean in terms of, he did not necessarily need to travel the world. and he got to travel the world. He was not an educated person, as in like he's a title holder of a certain degree, or whatever the case may be. But I mean, he grew up in a township like Mamelodi.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But he rather was not like he was not a conventional person.
Yeah. Yeah.
He read a lot. Like he's saying, if you are sick, ne. In fact, when you say Babang Petwe Inko, he won't necessarily tell you at hand now what it could be migraine. He's gonna go and fetch that medical book, read it yourself. That the next time you know what is wrong with you.
Wow.
You understand?
Yeah.
He always knew that we like fashion, but we never really understood, oh, do we like fashion? Do we like modeling? Whatever.
Yeah.
So he would bring us Elle magazine books.
Yeah.
I think that time the chief director or something was Jackie Beggar.
Yeah.
I would view those books with so much intensity that I also fell in love with top billing. I always imagined myself as a top billing presenter. For some reason.
Dreams do come true. You never know.
I've always our grandfather, he was. You ask him about a certain part of a country, he will bring you atlas and let's look on the map. He was not a conventional person.
And he was involved.
Very much involved.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Our grandmother taught us principles, in as much as my grandfather taught us the worldly things. But my grandmother was more of, you need to know who we have My grandmother was very good in mathematics.
So there was a balance.
There was a balance.
You know. Yeah. No wonder you guys are so grounded.
Thank you.
So I love that about you guys. I want to know from you, Mahlangu, how did you get into pageantry?
My first, because my first competition was in 2019. It was the Face of Rage. So yeah, so I won't say funny part, but the interesting part about my story in the competition, as I say, because I actually went to my first photo shoot after my chemo.
Sure.
Yeah, after my chemo therapy, and then when I got there, I met Umi Maduna. I think you know her. And yes, you know, I was not in a good space emotionally. I was a mess. But I went there. You know, I did my first round, competed and all that. And then I did not make it right away. Do you remember?
I remember, yeah.
Yeah.
So it added also to the disappointment. Already you're going through a lot.
Yes, but my story was what helped me make it to the finalists.
Yeah.
Because you know, they were actually shocked. You know, where do you get the resilience? You know, because of like you are just from chemo. It was actually like in the morning.
Sure.
I like went to the chemotherapy, and then because of like I was late, they were mad at me like, you know, why are you late? Why?
And then you came out with the story.
No, my mom came out to the story because like I was not even nice, you know. I'm not proud about that, but and then I went to the bathroom to fix myself, and my mom explained the story to them. You know, he's actually from the chemo, just be kind to him. So I think that inspired them. It's like, you know what, we actually need a model like this one, you know, to can use his story to can inspire other people that your dreams are possible.
Yeah, no matter what you're going through.
No matter what you're going through, you know, if you believe it, you can get it. And that's how I made it.
Did someone enter you into the competition, or did you enter yourself? Did you see it and you got interested?
Because I was one of their models, so I actually saw the competition in my emails.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I want to do this. Because I was bored, you know, I was sitting, you know, sleeping. I was always in the hospital and then or home, you know. So like, you know what, I think this will give me hope. And, you know, it actually gave me hope. It gave me more confidence. You know, if you know, because it was not easy. You know?
How old were you, if you don't mind me asking?
Yes, 2017, we were 19.
Sure.
Yeah, 18, 19.
Just after matric, basically.
Just after matric.
Maybe take me through your cancer story. How did you find out what type of cancer was it, and I want to also know from you how that affected you as well.
So I actually found out about my cancer because I was playing rugby. I was playing for Turks at the time, and I couldn't take more tackles.
Yeah.
In rugby you should take your tackles and all that. I lost all of my strength. I began coughing a lot because Hodgkin's is the name of the cancer I had. It's Hodgkin's.
Hodgkin's.
Yes, or lymphoma. You can call it lymphoma.
Oh,
Hodgkin's.
yes.
It's lymphoma. So you cough a lot. So my grandmother took me to the local doctor, and he said, no, it's just flu. No, I kept on coughing and coughing and coughing and coughing, and my grandmother took me back to the doctor.
A bad cough? Or?
No, it's just a consistent cough, but just a normal cough,
Yeah.
It's not really that bad.
Yeah.
And the third time, the doctor thought, no, I think it's TB.
Yeah.
But I kept my gym routine and my rugby routine. I go to the gym, I go to the practice, and then I come back home and all that. You understand? But I began losing weight. I lost my strength. In the rugby practice, my performance went down. It was just bad, until one time I went to visit my mom, and my mom said, you know what, let me take you to the hospital. So we went to Villagers Life Hospital.
Yeah.
So when we got there, they said, okay, fine, let's run tests. So they ran tests, and they couldn't find anything. So one specialist came into the room. I remember I was wearing a scarf because it was cold that time.
Yeah.
Around May, June. So he said, take off your scarf, and when they, and so I had a huge lump there. He said,
is it something you've always had?
No.
Yeah, it just appeared out of nowhere.
It kept on growing and growing
Yeah.
and growing.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, I think this is lymphoma. You're not going home. But they were not sure between lymphoma and TB.
And TB.
So they've put me into an isolation room for a week.
Yeah.
Then they ran tests, a lot of tests. First week they thought it was TB. Then they came with the results and said, you know what, you cannot find anything. After all those tests. And then the second week, said, okay, we don't think this kid has a TB, so we're gonna take him to a process called biopsy.
Yeah.
Which is
removing it and testing.
Yeah, like they take a piece of the tumor that's inside, and then they take it to the lab.
How big was it, by the way?
I'm not sure if you can see
The scar.
the scar.
Not necessarily. Is it the one that's here?
Yes.
Oh, so it was that big?
Like
Sure.
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge. So they took the.
But you never thought it was
yeah, because it's not painful.
Yeah.
No, it's really not painful. And I thought it was just a flu, just a consistent flu. Because they bought me flu medicine.
Yeah.
I thought, no, just go away. Let me just keep on working hard on gym.
Yeah.
And my diet.
But there was no connection, this lump, to the flu, according to you, before the
No.
doctor? Yeah. Sure, that is so scary.
Yeah. It was a shock to me and my family.
Yeah.
So they did the biopsy, and then I think after 3 days, 4 days, the results came back, and it was stage 4
Oh my word.
cancer. So the cancer has spread all over my body. I actually had a big lump on my neck, on my chest, and my groins because of it's a lymphoma, meaning it's the entire lymphatic system. Understand? I was broken. I lost my rugby contract. I actually wanted to become a Springbok player.
Yeah.
So my rugby career went down through the rain. I just watched my rugby career, fading away. And it was very, very, very painful because I invested a lot of hours, and sport can change your life. I would inspire kids to, play sport, focus on their academics, have balance, That's
not
my message.
Just academically
focused.
Yes.
Yes, because sport can change your life. You understand? So
and it probably also saved your life.
It saved
because
my life.
maybe if you were not playing sport, it would have maybe progressed. I'm not sure if there is a connection,
Yeah.
but I'm sure, because exercise does something to
Yeah.
us.
Yes. It does a lot of sport keeps you away from the streets. Sport. I mean, sport is amazing. So it was around 2017. You understand? So I think 2017 was that time. It was June, July.
Yeah.
So I began my chemotherapy around October, November. So I had many cycles, you understand?
Yeah.
So overlapping to 2018, you understand? That entire year, I was in the hospitals, doing my chemotherapy, doing this treatment, doing that, And then 2019, I finished late 2018, I finished my last chemotherapy cycle. I think I had 6 to 7 cycles, 6 to 8 cycles. It was a lot because you take your first cycle this week, and then you have to rest. Then you take another one after 2 weeks. So it's long, the process. So late 2018, I began my radiation process. You understand? And then that's where I actually saw the Face of Rage competition. So I actually did the competition while doing my radiation. You understand? So it gave me a lot of hope and comfort. I lost my rugby career, and my modeling career saved me. So I think that's the special thing about my modeling career.
I think sometimes, God redirects or uses situation. I don't believe that he would send the sickness, but he can take what the enemy meant to harm us, right, and turn it for our good. And I'm really sorry to hear about the loss of your career, but also excited to hear about the birth of a new one.
Yes.
And I want to know from you, Tiamo, when he was going through all of this, I mean, this is your ride or die. What were you going through? What was happening with you?
I mean, it was very hard because seeing him deteriorate is one thing. Seeing someone that is really, really close to you, literally dying in front of your eyes. I think it's one of the conversations I had with Naniki Siboni. That as caregivers, it's very difficult for us because he would send me a message maybe around 3 a.m. And he's like, the spirit is strong but the flesh is weak. And we are at a very timid age, 18, 19. We are still growing, trying to figure out everything, and then seeing your twin go through that, my mother. Also, our religion, when he had to go through in hospital, since, it was on stage 4, so he needed blood, and we don't do
Is it Jehovah's?
Jehovah's Witnesses. Yes.
So you had to make the decision.
He had to make that decision, because he was old enough to say, do I take
my life? Or,
yes.
Yeah.
There was a lot of scrutiny from the family because they knew we Jehovah's Witnesses, we don't take that. But it was his decision. I could have influenced him and be like, dude, you need to take blood.
But you were not disowned.
No.
Yeah, because I know it can get to that.
Yeah, no, we were not disowned. But how our family stuck through together is most probably what made me strong. Seeing my mom strong, my uncle, my grandmother, my grandfather, and also him choosing God that no matter what, I'm sticking with you. If I have to die without taking blood, it's fine. Because anyone in the family could have retaliated that, take blood must, blood is life and
so
so
you didn't take it?
No, he didn't take it.
Oh, wow.
And his blood was on 4, ne?
Yeah,
it needed to be on 14 for him to perform an operation.
Sure.
It was on 4, and I remember the doctors coming into my room. It was late, around 11, and he said to me, 3 a.m. you going to the theater, and the peoples were right here in front of you, it's inside. And, if it goes down to 3, you might not come back, and the chances are very high.
Yeah.
I prayed a lot, I read the Bible, I meditated, I cried a lot.
Yeah.
And
were you scared?
For sure, for sure. But I kept my faith, and I knew that God would take care of her. Because of my prayers was, God, please take care of my mom, my twin sister, and my grandmother. Because they're women, they need to be taken care of. Because I actually told God, Jehovah, you put me here as a man in their lives for me to take care of them. So if I die, it's your duty to step in my shoes and take care of them. And I trust that you can take care of them better than I do. Because, you are the Almighty. You understand that you are more wiser than me. You are more powerful than me. You are way more, discerning than me. So I actually prayed for my family more than me.
It's so inspiring that, at the brink of death, where you are literally told that you might not come back.
Yes.
Your thoughts are not even with yourself.
No.
But with your family. That's very selfless, and that is, I don't even have the words for that. But I want to thank you for sharing that story with us. And I think perhaps, there's opportunity to educate, because it's my first time hearing about this type of cancer. I don't think a lot of people are aware, and how also it can also affect you. So definitely awareness probably must be raised with how do you contract it, and what should you do, etc. I think we need more awareness. And with that being said, I want us to, before we jump into pageantry, I want you to tell us about your story, the story of your birth. I also want to say to the viewers, please do excuse the background. We are sitting outside, and God's beautiful birds are chirping. There's commotion and everything, but I do hope that the audio is audible and that you can hear us. It's audible. We'll cut that out. The audio is quite clear, and that it doesn't interrupt this powerful conversation. So before we jump into the whole aspect of pageantry, I want you to tell us about your birth story, which I found it so interesting.
So initially my mom thought that she was carrying only me.
Yeah.
And then she carried us. We actually premature.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the time she went to hospital, she was only going for a checkup.
Yeah.
Especially, and then when she got there, they were like, okay, you're not going anywhere. When are you must give birth? Because she has when she's pregnant, when high blood.
Yeah. Oh yes.
So she was forced to give birth that particular.
How many weeks or months?
Was it 42 weeks? The whole cycle is 48 weeks,
no? No, it's 40.
40.
Yeah.
But she gave birth near 32 or something like that.
Yeah.
So I think we were supposed to be born in August, but instead we were born in June.
Yeah.
And then she went to theater. She did a C-section. And then voila, twins are there.
So also the doctors were also surprised.
They were also surprised. They didn't see, apparently he was sitting on top of me, because when we came out, I was weighing 1 kg. He was weighing 2.
Sure. Yeah.
But thank God, that did not really affect us. We didn't have to be in incubators or stay in hospital for a long time.
Yeah.
Thereafter, immediately she just healed, and then we all went home. And
how was her feeling? Has she ever told you? You're going for one, and it's like buy one get one free.
She said that when they bought us literally we were facing the other side, so she could only see the hair. But now I was dark.
Yeah.
And he was like,
So wait, she was completely sedated. It wasn't an epidural. So she didn't know
She
that
didn't
they took
know.
out.
nothing.
It's
Insane.
oh my word. Yeah.
So she said we were facing the other side, so she could only see pain.
Yeah.
But he was light, I was dark.
Yeah.
And
And
then-
it switched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Abantwana bakabani laba?" They're like, you just got twins. Like, no way. So because my mom is light, she's light in complexion. She said, this one is mine. I don't know her. And then the nurse asked her, Uguti, Tanti Papa think, and then she only realized, oh, the father is dark.
Yeah.
So it could be. But then our hair has, we've got the same texture
Yeah.
as Nwele, and even lashes.
Yeah.
And then as we grew up, really, it was
visible.
visible.
Because I wanted to ask you if you've put in lashes, and I realized it's your own lashes. And now that you've mentioned the hair, I can see it's very fine.
Very curly.
Yeah,
very curly
yeah,
hair.
yeah.
So that was okay. That was a defining moment for her. Uguti, we are actually twins and so forth. So and then thereafter we were given so many names because
Everyone
We are
just
the
wanted
first
to
twins.
buy
oh, the I think we're still even the standing
the first,
twins.
yeah.
Are you serious?
In all sides.
From both sides.
Both
Yeah.
sides.
How did that happen?
I don't know.
Mm.
I don't know because from my father's side, they are twins. So
Yeah.
my grandfather says his siblings are twins in between.
Oh, okay.
You know, so it's probably from maternal side, not
Oh.
from paternal side.
Oh, okay.
But then with our generation,
We are the only twins.
we are the only twins.
Because they normally say it skips a generation,
Yeah.
right? Because they say that twins can't have twins, which is also not scientific. Well, I don't know about scientifically, but because I look at the same twins, they have twins.
That would be lovely to have.
One of them has got twins.
That's a nice
Yeah.
one.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, ever since there are no other twins, just like one.
Wow.
So maybe one of us, if we happen to get children, will get twins, or our
Yeah.
children, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's the story of our birth.
Wow,
and then-
two for the price of one. And yeah, guys, I had a similar story with my children, but obviously, not at the same time.
Yeah.
My Irish pair, they are 10 months apart. When the one was about a month old, I found out I was pregnant.
Jeez.
I felt like I was
They're literally
going
twins.
insane. Yeah, they are, because the one is going to turn 7, and then before the other one turns 8, and then for a month and a half they're the same age.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I always get
That's
asked, are they
crazy.
twins? The one will be like, yeah, we are, and the one is like,
I'm older than
yeah. So I want to know how, obviously we've spoken about, how you both got into pageantry. It was with Mevrouw Landbiana, and then with Rage Models, right? And then where are you with pageantry? And I want to know what it taught you. Why are you still stuck in it? Because that was high school days, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How has it shaped you? So just take us, on a journey. You can just, interchange and jump in.
Who's
The
starting?
question is...
Yeah, the benefits of it, it teaches you self-love.
Yeah.
You get to take care of yourself. It keeps you clean. It keeps you nice. It builds your self-confidence, because when you look good, you feel good.
Yeah.
You understand? And of course, you become beauty conscious.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. So I think it's some of the benefits.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
And you become I won't use the word leader, but beacon of hope to a lot of people in your circle and
Yeah.
society.
You do become a leader.
Yeah.
You
By
understand?
default.
Yes.
You understand? Because
Yes.
a lot of people look up to you, yes. Because I remember in 2021 when I joined Mr. SA, I am even now the first person, in my family, in my community and my entire circle, we never heard of that, what's that? And, everyone has heard me. Even though I did not win the prize, but it taught my circle a lot, I think it gave them another perspective, about life. He's a dude, and he's Mr. South Africa. He's a model, So I think our career taught and is still teaching our family, friends, and the society a lot of things. That, you don't have to take the conventional way, in life. Be a lawyer or be a doctor. You can do what you love and go far with it.
I love that you refer to it as a career, Maybe can we talk around that?
Yeah.
Why do you refer to it as a career, and what's the plan?
Yeah, because my plan is to use it because youth loves fashion.
Yeah.
So as I said, on my part is to use it to draw the youth and share my story and inspire the youth to chase their dreams against all odds. To use my story and this career to combine it, and inspire the youth to keep on nourishing their dreams. And for them to keep rising above all forms of circumstances, because we are not our circumstances. We are our thoughts. We are our decisions. You understand? So I think it has a huge impact on them, because the youth is the future.
Yeah.
You understand? And the youth, it helps me a lot to can attract a lot of youth, and talk to them.
And you know what? It's we take it so for granted how important it is to have a point of reference, right? I mean, I remember a few weeks back, I was just going through just, a little bit of not a dark path, but when your mind sometimes is fighting against you. And I was going just through that, and I came across, I like watching Stephen, I can't remember, Bartlett. He's got a podcast called
CEO.
Yes,
CEO.
yes.
Yeah.
And he interviewed Mel, I can't remember her surname. But, she's doing quite great for herself, and she's in the fashion space as well. And she was sharing a story about how at 40 years old, the husband had started a new business, a restaurant, and then things didn't go as planned. She wasn't working, and things were just not going well. And, she was sitting there thinking, this is where I'm at. With my age, I've got kids, and, things are not going well. And there's now this debt, this loan that was taken out that, to finance, obviously, the restaurant that needs to be paid. And that challenge, actually, is what propelled her into starting her career, and she turned her life around. Because I had a career switch at 36, right? I was in corporate, full-time corporate, and running a department in communication, and working for, very reputable, I was working for the Reserve Bank, and I left, right, at 36. It's been 4 years now, and I started, into an unconventional space that, people don't even see as a career. Do you understand?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So challenging moments become almost like my own issue. You understand? Because you believe, you see the dream, and you look back and you see how far you've also come. But building from the ground up, especially when you've already got responsibility. I was having this conversation with my mother-in-law, I interviewed her. It's a very difficult thing to do, especially when you made the decision to jump out. Any normal business has got its own challenges. But, an unconventional one, it's even more challenging because people think,
what are you doing?
do you understand what I'm saying?
What are you doing?
So watching that interview really was a turning point for me, and it changed a lot. And it basically, I took it as, someone saying, go, 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 and continue doing what you do. Because if I didn't have that point of reference,
you wouldn't have started it, or you would have gave up a long time ago. You remind me of this gentleman. His name is called Vigela Rankin. So he's a value-add he's not an ambassador, founder.
Yeah.
Yes, Vigela Rankin. I was introduced to him by my aunt. So he opened up he left, like you say, he left his 9-to-5 job, a very paying good job. But he felt, you know what, it's time I start my thing.
Yeah.
And like you say, he encountered a lot of challenges, a lot of disappointments, this and that. But today, he managed to establish a whole organization whereby young people, the youth, are there to share their ideas.
Yeah.
They're there to inspire each other, connect each other, networking. You know, if I'm doing radio and this one is doing radio, let's merge. Let's do, you know.
Yeah.
So I hear you a lot, quite a lot, loud and clear that it's not easy.
Yeah.
But it can be done.
I also think maybe if you look at where we come from as a people, as black people, right? Because, you know, it was not necessarily just survival, but, you know, you had to make ends meet.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
So now connecting the whole thing of, you know, serving purpose and making an income, it's almost, it doesn't connect.
No.
You know?
No, you can't eat purpose, but money is needed.
Exactly. And also building, you understand? We get very impatient with ourselves because you want it to be, you know, instant. But I was thinking about this, that it's actually quite silly because us as black people, we advocate for education. You know how you'll always be told, right?
True.
We advocate for education, which I also do, and that is why, you know, I've gone the process of getting my degree and whatever else. However, I don't think it's the only way, you know, and there are many other ways. You know,
it doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be, and not everybody is also made for reading a book and, you know, retaining the information and applying it to get that pass mark. But my point is this, right? We've been taught that, you know, it's the only way. And even with education itself, it takes, you know, time before you get your degree. But why is it with business? It's assumed that from day one, you must be making millions, you understand? And not getting that 3 years and maybe 4 years, you know? Yeah, to find yourself and navigate your way.
It's the psychology of the human mind. Also, I think also with expectations from the society at large. You are expected to be this and that. You're expected to accumulate this and that. You're expected to earn this much. You're expected to be this, you know. It's a lot of pressure. However, even thinking about leaving your conventional job or conventional career, it's like, hoo-ha, like, what are you doing?
Unheard of.
Yes, it's a taboo, actually, especially in the black society. You know, I don't want to say black society, but society in general, because also white folks, you need to.
They don't even go to tertiary, most of them. After school, go and work.
They work, you know. I think, you know, when you ask him why...
This is the Afrikaans community mostly. Because the English, usually you must go to school.
You must go to school. You must go to school. I think also, when you asked why do you regard this as a career, I remember in high school we had these guys that would come in, and then they exposed us to different careers that you can do. Like OPE. Okay, if you want to find yourself, you're not really sure what you want to do. OPE is a good kickstart up to maybe travel the world, find out who is Tiamo, what do you like, what don't you like, you know, like job shadowing in a way. And I'm grateful for my family for them not putting us into an orthodox, not boxing us in terms of be a nurse, be a doctor. I mean, I'm not downplaying those careers because they're very important.
They're very important.
Very important to each and every community.
And stable.
Yes. I think that's what we look at, stability and security, right? But having a family like ours and also being raised by a single mother, my mother could have easily said, like, it took me a lot to raise you guys because I had to leave you guys when you were 2 months old for me to go and work, right?
Is she in business or is she a normal 9 to 5?
She was a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
You know, she was a 9 to 5. So, she could have easily said, I need you guys to have careers of being a doctor, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, even from my other immediate family members. But my mom was, she's an amazing woman. She let us be. You know, I remember when we started taking this whole modeling series, we were 14 years old. And I remember I was watching Cow TV, and then I saw this program. It was called Model Management. They voted their numbers there, and I took those numbers. I called them. They had I don't know if they still have a branch in Hatfield, and I called them, and they were like, "I would like to join your agency." We went there in Hatfield, and that's how we started off. My mom was there supporting that, because she was like, not everyone is for school. I don't know if whether Dimitri you want to be whatever, because I was always interested in studying info art.
Yeah.
Because I'm an artist, I can draw, you know, I love drawing and so forth. But and painting.
Yeah.
But
so fine arts.
Fine art is my type of thing, you know. But I had to go and do the conventional way, you know, do theory also. And then I remember after matric, I was still not sure what I wanted to do. I went to state theater. I studied music, arts, and dance for a year.
Wow.
Thereafter, I finished with my course. Then I went to Roseburn College, and then I did my journalism qualification there until I obtained my qualification. So, and then during that period, that's when I actually found out, okay, maybe I can go back to modeling again, competition again. Because I also remember I tried to enter for Miss Mahlangu Sundowns. I didn't make it that far because it was just a lot of us.
Yeah, is it still around?
I have no idea.
Yeah, because it's been quiet, right? Yeah.
So when I went there, my then friend was part of a pageant.
Yeah.
It was Miss South Africa something, because it was Miss South Africa and Mr. South Africa.
Yeah.
Right, but it was not like on a national.
Yeah.
It was conjoined with Miss and Miss. And then she kind of took me back into that pageantry space again. She taught me how to walk, whatever, etiquette and so forth. Even though I had an idea before, but now it was on a larger scale because she was doing it practically. And then that's how she was like, okay, let's go and enter for Miss Mahlangu Sundowns. I think that was 2019, if not 2020. And then that's when we went there. And then I was like, okay, this could be a career.
I love how you say we, you know.
Because, you know, in everything she does, I'm with her, I support her, and in everything I do, she's there.
Yeah.
So we are a team, you know.
That is so amazing. That is so amazing. I think you guys need to meet the same twins. Honestly, reach out to them and go for an interview, because you remind me a lot of them, you know. Because, you know, I do come across a lot of twins, and most of them are not close. They don't have that,
weird
relationship, you know. But I've seen with them, they are like one, and just like you guys, you are like one, you know. I really think, you know, we should reach out to them on your behalf, or
yes,
you should reach out.
It's not a problem.
We can work, you know. I think we open.
We're open to that.
Yeah. So now obviously you guys, you know, are a package deal, right? So what happens when one is winning and one is not? How do you feel? How do you manage, you know, having to cheer the other one, and then when you yourself feel like my things are not going so well?
We root up for each other. You know?
And also the guilt of winning when the other one is
not winning.
Yeah.
We root up for each other, you know, because it takes me back to when he was part of the Face of Rage in 2019. That was his winning moment.
Yeah.
You know, I remember he didn't tell the story well. This one. Mpumi Maduna was one person that was consistent with him. You know, she was there through and through for him. Ne? And then wafika ilanga le competition. Ne? Tuli Nzojana was there.
Yeah.
Tuli was one person that also rooted for him.
Yeah.
She even called him his Black Panther.
Yeah.
You know, and
why were there more white males there, or?
Yeah, more white.
Yeah.
You know, Tuli was also one of the people who rooted up for him, especially because of his story, his journey, and his resilience of like still staying on the course, right? I remember when we got back from the competition, so we were also down driving back to Pretoria. And then in Deleni, when we were on the is it N4, N1,
N4,
N4, yes. In Deleni, driving back home, all disappointed that he didn't make
Yeah.
it. He got a call
Yeah.
from Bumi that, dude, we need you back.
Yeah.
Tuli wants you here.
Yeah.
I remember she's like, come dressed up tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
I'm actually getting goosebumps, you know. I get goosebumps every time there's, you know, a supernatural
Yeah, that was so
turn in.
supernatural.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
It was. That for me, I was not doing anything. You know, I was like, I didn't even know what I wanted, or because I was just in school. And for me to even be in school, he sacrificed for me. So in a way, that was my winning moment for me to go to school.
Yeah.
And then he did other things.
Yeah.
Because that time we were going through a little bit of some financial struggles.
Yeah.
So he sacrificed.
And raising two kids
It's
at the
a
same
lot.
time, it's very difficult. I'll tell you, it was much easier raising the one by himself and also the little one by himself. These two, it's very difficult because it's also what you do on the left,
You need to
you
do
need
on
to
the
do
right.
on the right, you know.
It was a lot for my mother.
Especially as a single mother, you know.
As
Yeah.
a single mother.
It was hard for her.
Yeah.
It was really hard. And then, so I remember we were having that conversation, sitting down, that I really wanted to go to school.
Yeah.
You know, and we had that conversation, and he was like, it's okay, she
Yeah.
can go to school.
Wow.
So that was my winning
Yeah.
moment. He rooted up for me.
Yeah.
So when he had to go to this pageant, I had to be there and root up for him, like, this is your defining moment. I mean, he was shorter than most of the guys there. The guys there were much masculine than him, you know, but he made it through
Yeah.
until the end. And also the support he also got from the people from the pageant was amazing.
Yeah.
So we actually root up for each other. If one is winning,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
that's how
I love that. That is such a beautiful story. I love it. And what happens if you've got an event at the same time?
Did you ever go through that?
It's never happened.
No.
So nature always supports you guys.
Not necessarily. We never encountered that.
Yeah. I also want to know what is the difference, maybe the key differences between pageantry for males and pageantry for females?
I think it's the platform, you know. For example, Miss SA is way bigger than Mr. SA. They've got more sponsors supporting them, you know, than Mr. SA.
Yes,
So
yes.
Mr. SA is much. It's actually a small platform compared to Miss SA. Yeah, therefore I think that's the only difference now.
Yeah.
So, you know, if our sponsors can put in more support to Mr. SA, I think, you know, it can grow a bit more. And even the male pageantry as a whole, the male fashion industry as a whole, I think we need more support on that part. Because even in modeling, you know, the females are more paid than the male models. You understand?
Yeah.
So I think that's the difference.
Yeah. Would you say that there's a misconception about men in modeling, you know, as a whole?
Yes. Yes, there is.
Maybe share some of those misconceptions.
Yeah. If you are a male model, you should be gay. It's not true. You know, when you are too clean, they think you are feminine and all that. But you know, you're just metrosexual. You know, you just love yourself. You know, you love fine things. You know, you love to be beautiful. You love to be successful. So, I think that's the main thing, especially in the black society. That needs to change, because it's not a sin or it's not a taboo for a man to love himself and take care of himself the same way a woman does, you know, because we are also humans. You know, you need to take care of your mind, you need to take care of your health, you know, you need to take care of yourself as a whole, you know. You need to take time, you know, I take time before I dress up, you know, shoot videos, you know, it's part of self-love, you know. And I think, it will build a much better society if you can teach our kids that, you know. And even as mothers, you know, I encourage you to do that. If you have a boy child and a girl child, you know, teach your boy child to love himself.
Yeah.
Understand?
Yeah.
Teach your girl child to love himself.
Mm.
Because how do you expect me as a man to love you as my woman if my mother never taught me that? Understand? Because I cannot give what I don't have. I cannot give what I don't know.
Yeah.
So I think that's the main thing.
Yeah.
That we
Yeah.
should.
I love what you said. I cannot give what I don't have, and it's so true. I don't think people comprehend that. You can never give what you don't have. Yeah. And from you, Tamo, what is the difference, the key differences between male and female pageantry?
With regards to the female pageantry, coming to think of it, of our former Miss SAs from the 90s, 80s, you know, it was given, we were given that platform because of we didn't have a voice, because male predominated almost every space, you know. So it was that platform to redefine beauty standards, to, you know, make ourselves feel good, because of Mfazi is always told you belong, you must be domesticated.
Yeah.
Not knowing that you can be a career woman who is
Domesticated.
I always refer myself to that, actually.
Yeah.
That I'm a career woman, but I'm also domesticated.
Yeah.
And also being heard, because we've got our own minds, right? And there's a lot of things that we need to share and give out to the world and so forth. Hence why I think the main concept of creating a pageantry like this is also to celebrate ourselves as women. You know, like I've said before, Uti, I did not know I had certain beautiful features, you know, and then this platform, you get to, you know, like I remember you were saying, you must have a princess walk or princess pose, which is not a lot of us even know about that, or if you're not in that space. So basically, for me, I perceive this pageantry as a life skill. Whether you are part of the process, you're a finalist, semi-finalist, a finalist, a runner-up, a title holder. During the journey, you learn so much about yourself. You develop. I love growth. I love being groomed. I love experience. That is the difference between, you know, even with males too. You get to become groomed. Like he's saying, you also need to teach a boy child that you need to do 1, 2, 3. Take care of yourself. Cleanliness is next to godliness. You need to be successful. You need to develop your mind every now and then. You know, it's just that now for females, because we are all always on the go of promote females and so forth, we get much more sponsorships. You know, we are put on bigger platforms than Mr. SA is. You know. So I think, yeah, that's the difference.
Yeah, it definitely still does have a long way to go.
Yeah.
You know, in that space, and that's something that we should advocate for.
True.
You know, but I see you guys going very far in this industry, and what people also need to realize is pageantry is a whole economy on its own.
Yeah.
And the beautiful thing about it is you might decide that you don't want to directly be involved in it, but you can be a designer, you can be a makeup artist, you can be a photographer, you can be a stage choreographer, you can be an events coordinator, you can be a voiceover artist, you can be a lighting designer, a set designer. Hey, the list is actually endless.
That's employment,
right?
like so economical.
Exactly.
Very
you know,
economical.
and not to mention the social impact, you know, that it has. But it's been such a great pleasure having you both here. You know, I've learned so much. I wish I could spend the whole day with you. I think we've even gone way over time. We'll probably do part 1, part 2, you know, of this, so it doesn't, you know, continue to, and I don't want to leave out any part of it. So I appreciate you coming all the way from Pretoria.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, I can't believe I said that. It now seems so far. Let's okay, Pretoria. So thank you so much, you know, for taking the time. And I just want you maybe to just leave the viewers with, you know, any words, encouraging, motivating, anything that's on your heart that you want to share. Please just speak a bit up because
Yeah. Maybe you can start.
Yes, my message is you become what you think about. Understand? So read books and develop yourself mentally, because you are your thoughts, and if you have positive thoughts, you're going to attract positive things, and if you have negative thoughts, you're going to attract negative things. So work on your mind, work on your attitude, despite any manifesting negative circumstances, because there is a light at the end of the tunnel.
Wow, wow.
And for me, I'd like to say you need to stay on the course. Stay on the course, no matter what, you know. And always consider yourself as a business, as a brand. Package yourself, in Bonang Mateva's words, package yourself into something that you would sell out to the people, and people would actually be enticed by what you're selling. Not in a distorted way, of course. But
We just need to clarify.
not in a distorted way. But stay on the course. That equips one being consistent and one being always relevant. I love a person who is always relevant, like your Bastana Kumalo. She's forever consistent and relevant till this day. You know, it's one of the things that I admire about a person in general, apart from gender. People like Proverb, they stayed on the course. The only time I would see a Proverb is when he's winning. I don't know his downfalls, you know.
His mistakes, and
I don't know, you know. And then as I get to know you, like now you've mentioned, you've stayed on the course. You are consistent. You are, you know, resilient. So it's one thing that I always tell myself every day, affirm myself with every day. However, I hope the next person who gets to hear this will be reminded that I also need to stay on course.
wow, I love that. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much.
Consistency, relevance, and light at the end of the tunnel. That is just, you know, a tip in the iceberg of what this conversation was about. I am so glad that we had this talk, and I hope that you also find value in it. If maybe you are here for the very first time and you haven't as yet subscribed, I am coming to you and asking you to please do the right thing and click that subscribe button down there. We are officially on a road to 500. We are looking to grow this channel so that we can bring you more such content, because I really want to bring you into my world of pageantry, of modeling, so that you get to understand the behind the scenes, that it's not just all about beauty, but there's also a lot of brains in it and a lot of business as well. Thank you very much once again. I am Koketso Makua, the pageant boss.